أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I am thankful to the organizing committee of South Asian Association of Physiologists, namely Dr. Mangla and her team, uh, Dr. Samina Malik, Dr. Rashid Mahmood, Dr. Umar, Dr. Muhammad Aslam. My talk is related with the ethical approval of research proposals and the role of Institutional Review Board. I will talk on standards as well as some extended role of IRB, which is very important. Initial processes that are done regarding the ethical approval is to provide template of research proposal. This is very important since if we don't provide the template for writing the research proposal, then different kinds of formats we receive and different researchers, they made it on their own choice. So it is very important that a uniform document should come to the IRB, and obviously it is easy to evaluate and discuss. So as soon as these research proposals are received, they are usually of two types, non-funded and funded. Both are submitted either by faculty members or by the students. But in case of clinical trial, either the institutional clinical trial unit or the contact research organization, they submit through a certain sponsor. And after receiving these research projects, initial scrutiny is done for any missing documents so that it can be informed to the researcher for submission. Now, the steps for the IRB members to submit their comments, these proposals are forwarded and comments are requested with the issuance of a deadline for the submission of comments, which is followed by the preparation for IRB meeting, in which receiving of comments from the members, individual members will send either by email or by WhatsApp. And then that is followed by generation of all comments filed. This step is very important for IRB because 7, 8, or 9 IRB members, they submit their comments in different files, and they are to be merged so that it can be displayed through multimedia on the screen during the meeting, and everyone will visualize the comments of all members on a single section. For example, for introduction or for the literature review or for other headings of the research proposal. So it is easy to discuss and decide on the research proposal when such kind of all comment file is available. Then the meeting is announced with the issuance of agenda. Here is one of the example of this agenda. And here, after distribution of agenda, the IRB meeting will be convened with proper IT facilities. Here is one of the view of this IRB meeting going on. On one side, researchers are sitting, and on the other side, the members of the review board are there. Now, post IRB, after the end of IRB meeting, the decisions, comments, suggestions, they are actually provided to the researcher for improvement. And when improvement is done, they will resubmit this research, improved research proposal to the IRB. We receive it and then we check it, and we verify the improvements, whether they are done properly or not, and that is then followed by the clearance of checking process, and the ethical approval is issued. Now, what are the things on which IRB should focus to meet the standards? I've summarized it, and you see that there are the social values that should be taken into account regarding a particular research proposal. What is its impact on the society, and what is its impact on the health? Uh, and this is very important to consider. Then, whether the researchers have selected subjects fairly or not, and there should be a respect for the enrolled subject. They have followed it or not, and they inform consent. This is a very important aspect in case of human based research, and it should uh, be clearly written, and participants should be informed of the briefly about the research uh, theme, and what is uh, their role in this research, the risk and benefits, the financial aspect, whether there is financial gain or not, and specifically, they should be independent to withdraw from the study at any time. Then the risk benefit ratio should be in the favor of participants. And the scientific validity is one of the important aspects that IRB should consider. And there are certain details of these validity. This is not the topic of this presentation, but scientific validity is one of the most important thing that should be checked, that what kind of uh, study is having valid selection procedure, valid statistical analysis, etc., etc. Last but not the least is the independent review that is important. Uh, the process of IRB should not be influenced by any person, any organization, or even the institution in which this IRB is working. Then, if the unethical research is done, and IRB overlooked it, and obviously that will have serious consequences on individual as well as on society. It caused harm to the participant, and there is a loss of trust on the research in the community. There are legal repercussions. There is damage to the reputation of the institution and the researcher as well. And the most important is the invalid result that we got from the analytical research. And it not only misleads the researchers who are reading their research after publication, but it also misleads the policy makers and public. And obviously, there is a wastage of time, money, and effort spent on unethical research. And obviously, the ethical violation should not be allowed by the IRB to take place. In view of the shortage of time, I have selected only this aspect of monitoring of research. The research monitoring is one of the important role of IRB, that after the issuance of ethical approval, they should monitor what is going on. The research is being done properly according to the standard, according to the protocol approved, as well as the participants are well treated or not, they are well informed or not. And out of this, the patient recruitment and retention is one of the very important challenge that a particular trial face. And these factors are written here: lack of awareness, of the not only for the participant, but sometimes researchers are not aware of the standard procedures that are allowed by the FDA and ICH. There is a communication gap between researcher as well as between the participants. Sometimes protocol is very complex and long manual procedures are there, and that irritate the participants, and they usually withdraw from the study, or they either never come for follow-up. And obviously, treatment risks are there. The participant is very careful about the side effects of any drug or any problem that they may face during the treatment. So these are to be monitored by the IRB. Now, the extended role which is required beyond the ethical approval, I am listing here one by one. English language is the foremost problem, and its grammar of the research proposal, textual continuity, and punctuation, they are to be checked and informed to the researcher for improvements. And there must be a clear explanation of all sections of the research proposal, especially regarding the objectives, rationale of the research proposal, its significance, outcomes, and future prospects. Data collection is the part and parcel of the research, and for it, the data collection sheet is used, and sometimes it is prepared very haphazardly without headings, subheadings, or serialing, because it is very important when this data sheet is used to feed it in certain software like SPSS or any other one for the statistical analysis. So it should be structured, demography, clinical symptoms, medication labs. They must have headings and subheadings and serializing so that coding should be easy when you feed it in the statistical software. Questionnaires in some of these studies, when they are used, they are not structured. Therefore, their appearance should be proper, as well as the question should not be ambiguous. That if it is ambiguous, then obviously the participant will respond incorrectly, and that will harm your research outcomes. Measurement scales are very important, and they're used in different clinical studies, especially in the psychiatry, psychological studies, or in case of neurological studies. So they should be appropriate, as well as they should be referenced. Sometimes reference is not present, and sometimes they modify according to their need, and they don't mention it in their methodology. Then the informed consent form, I have already told you about it. It should follow the FDA and ICH standard. And the referencing style in some of the research project, it is observed that more than one referencing style is used. So the researcher should be informed that whenever they list references, it should be of single style, either Harvard, either Vancouver, or APA, or whatever it is. Obviously, after the research, when they will submit for publication, the guidelines of that research paper will determine that what kind of style they should use. So my recommendations are that all standards to be strictly followed for the issuance of ethical approval, an extended role of IRB to be adopted other than ethical concern to provide learning to researchers for good write-up, which will be reflected in their research papers. Thank you very much.